r/AskReddit. What is the most cringeworthy thing you did to woo your crush? Story 1. In the 8th grade, I printed out Green Day lyrics and wrote, "I love you" on the end, then taped them all over her desk and chair. Somehow, it didn't work out. Story 2. Pick flowers at night, put them in front of her door. Not even a note or a name or anything, just the flowers. Even denied when she asked if they were mine. Don't know what I was trying to accomplish there. Story 3. I was really into dragons growing up. Like really into them. I had a book called Dragonology, which I had with me all the time. In the book, there was a language key for dragon runes. Well, me being my sly, mysterious self, I wrote her a love note in these runes with a little key on it so she could figure it out. Didn't say it was from me. I slipped it into her locker and she confronted me the next day. I was amazed that she knew the note. The one written in dragon language was by me, the kid that was obsessed with dragons. Thinking back, I must have come off like a greasy-haired zodiac. Story 4. I worked in the office at a construction company part-time at 17. I'm a flirt anyway, but there was one young guy I actually had a crush on, so I always thought he was flirting with me. For his birthday, I found a doll-sized truck that looked exactly like his and baked him a cake shaped like a garage with the truck inside. Yes, it was difficult and time-consuming. Wow, this is amazing. My wife is gonna love it too and probably want to know how you did this. Uneasy face. Pro tip. Guys in hands-on vocations often don't wear wedding rings for fear they will have to be cut off in an accident. Story 5. I tried to sing her a song while playing it on the piano. I can't sing. I can't play piano, I just knew the basic tune and knew that the higher notes were to the left on the keyboard. I didn't even know the words to the song. Looking back, it was pretty obvious she didn't even want me to sing to her. She was being polite. Oh God, OP. Why did you make me relive this memory? Story 6. For the purposes of this post, my name is Mark. I saw a coin on the ground while talking to a girl and decided to show off how cool I was in a humorous way. I don't know why everyone thinks I'm so cool at everything I do. Hey look, a penny. I picked up the coin and then started celebrating. Go Mark. Go Mark. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. The humor being that I was oblivious to being cool at even the little things like picking up coins. I was horrible. Story 7. Join a club at school. Then spend a bunch of money I didn't really have to spend on going on a club-related trip. I hoped it'd be my shot to get some alone time with her and make my move, but she ended up pulling out of the trip and I didn't know until we were about to leave. Story 8. The teachers at my old school really enforced the no running in the hallway rule we had, and one day she was running to get to her class or friends or something, I'm not sure. I stopped her, being the teacher's pet I was, and told her she was getting a ticket for running. I said the payment was her number. The piece of paper I had given to her was thrown in my face and she ran off. Story 9. In 5th grade, I was nothing but cringe. He came to my birthday party, so I was in love with him. This wasn't just a crush, I'd had those before. I wanted him in a way I had never wanted a boy before. Of course, being 11, I had no idea how to handle these new and confusing feelings. I also didn't bathe much because I'm slightly allergic to soap and nobody believed me. So, I sat way too close to him, flowed him around, and wrote his name surrounded by a heart on everything I owned so he could see. I also made several threats towards his girlfriend. If I could, I'd reach back into the past and give young me a good slap. Story 10. In middle school, I had this serious crush on a girl who was really beautiful and pretty good at academics like me. Every day in math class, I used to finish the problem before her, yet wait for about 10 minutes so that we could both say the answer at the same time. She'd look back and smile at me, and that was enough motivation to continue this tactic for about the next 6 months. I still cringe at this memory. Story 11. When I was in 6th grade, my parents talked me into going to a week-long church camp. I knew of, but didn't know personally any of the kids going, but they sold me that everyone would praise Jesus, ride horses, and have a good time. I decided to go. It was like a 6-hour drive in one of those big white vans. Quickly, everyone started whipping out their CD cases and exchanging music, and I instantly was like, FUCK. I only had 2 CDs. Britney Spears, Baby One More Time, and Everclear. I was a really weird kid. Everyone was trying to talk to me about music, and I had honestly never heard of any of the bands they were talking about. I just wanted to jam some Britney to myself. So naturally, I went the elitist route, said I had all of that music and I was listening to some new underground private shit they hadn't heard of. Once we get to camp, all I'm thinking is let's find some friends quick because I can't talk to these kids anymore. I go to the pool and make some friends with a few older kids. There were 3 girls, 2 guys, and me. They were all in 8th grade, so obviously they were really cool. Plus, I thought the girls were really hot. I figured this would be the best time, if any, to get my first kiss. Their windshield wipers were turned up to the maximum with all the game 6th grade me was spitting. We decide to leave the pool and walk around the camp till we all had to have a group meet up. The cabins were separated by grades, so they said they would walk by the 6th grade cabin and pick me up. First thing I do is put on my freshest outfit. Great time to break out my fresh white t-shirt. Can't forget my jean shorts. This was pre-faded denim, so this was the industrial bright blue jean shorts. The summer in Texas, so I might as well top the outfit off with knee-high white socks. And, of course, for the bitches, Doc Martens. I looked like a weird redneck lumberjack. So I walk out and they're kind of like WTF, but whatever. It's kiss time. We start walking and one of the older guys farts and all the girls laugh. Boom. Found my in. My friend Travis and I have been making fart jokes for quite some time, so I'm up to speed on this area of humor. Bam, the other guy farts and all the girls laugh even harder. Got him. Now I'm thinking all I have to do is drop the biggest fart and literally the girls are gonna laugh so hard they're gonna each kiss me one by one. I start clenching and squeezing my stomach as hard as I can. I'm walking like a newborn deer. Then I feel it. Got a big one ready. So, instead of just dropping it out and laughing, I wanted to make a big show about it. I run in front of the small group, squat down, turn just my head around, and forcefully shit myself. This was all-out diarrhea. If you didn't know this before, early 90s denim was the least forgiving fabric in the world. Everyone knew I shit. This running down my leg, being soaked up by my knee-high socks. Instantly, I just react and start running, kicking up shit like mud off a truck. I've never been to this camp before, so I'm just running for anything. I find a bathroom, toss the socks, boxers, shirt, but I couldn't drop the jorts. I can't just walk across the church camp naked. Plus, at this point, I'm thinking maybe they didn't really see it. I was really confident in my speed at the time, so I was thinking I could say that's my thing. I drop giant farts and run before the smell catches me. Come to find out, not only were the 5 people I shit in front of outside the bathroom waiting for me, but there were like 25 kids. Instantly, I just ran in my docs and jorts combo back to the cabin I was staying in with the other kids chasing me and yelling, "Shit pants." I run to my bed to find all the music nerds I drove up with going through my CD case. It only has the 2 CDs. They are like, WTF? Thought you had tons of secret music, bro. Wait, did you shit your pants? So yeah, that was about 4 hours into a week-long trip. I really thought farting would impress these girls. I lost my favorite pair of jorts and pride that day. Story 12. In HS, we were at callbacks for auditions for the school musical. Girl I was interested in was sitting in a chair backwards, think AC Slater style, while rehearsing her song. Genius idiot me decides that a great way to grab her attention is to football hike this 32-ounce shampoo bottle at her. So I grab it, yell to get her attention, and hike the bottle as hard as I can through my legs. The bottle hits the backside of her chair. Luckily, it wasn't a few inches higher or it probably knocks out a few teeth. Nevertheless, the impact with the chair explodes the shampoo bottle and she is completely covered in Pantene Pro V shampoo, just minutes away from her callback/audition time. I guess it worked though. We've been together for 12 years now, married for 3. Story 13. We had a Valentine's Day thing in high school with crush cans. You know, the drink? You paid $1 to have a consent to someone. Orange crush was for friendship, red crush was for love, and purple crush was for, well, a crush. I sent a red crush to my brother because I'm a rude little sister. That was great. Teehee. But then I sent a purple one to a guy I liked, asking him to the Sadie Hawkins dance. I'm pretty sure he was pressured into saying yes, considering the can was delivered in class. Needless to say, he kept making excuses as to why he couldn't go. Story 14. Hey, _thesis water. I really like your bracelet. Thanks. I'll give it to you if you go out with me. Sure. Gives over bracelet. I wish it stopped there, but no. I went home that night all excited about my new budding romance. I had these 2 drawers where I kept all things I thought were cool. So I found this brown paper sack and I put in some cool stuff. A kaleidoscope, $1, those popper things you got from the video arcade stores, some other stuff. And the next day I come into school. See my crush sitting against the wall in the gym. I make eye contact with him and slide this paper sack right to him and keep on walking. I totally felt like I was working a pretty good game in that moment. But he broke up with me later that day. The perils of 2nd grade. Story 15. When I found out her college professor was relentlessly hitting on her during class, I burst into her classroom and hit him in the face with a chocolate cream pie. He chased me out of the building and about 2 blocks down the street before he gave up. I made quite an impression. We've been married 30 years. In retrospect, actually not so cringeworthy. In reply to some of the comments, it is actually a true story, but I don't blame anyone for saying it's fake. The professor never connected me to the girl. I wasn't a student there. She fairly freaked out and never told anyone she knew me. Story 16. When I found out her college professor was relentlessly hitting on her during class, I burst into her classroom and hit him in the face with a chocolate cream pie. He chased me out of the building and about 2 blocks down the street before he gave up. I made quite an impression. We've been married 30 years. In retrospect, actually not so cringeworthy. In reply to some of the comments, it is actually a true story, but I don't blame anyone for saying it's fake. The professor never connected me to the girl. I wasn't a student there. She fairly freaked out and never told anyone she knew me. Story 17. When I found out her college professor was relentlessly hitting on her during class, I burst into her classroom and hit him in the face with a chocolate cream pie. He chased me out of the building and about 2 blocks down the street before he gave up. I made quite an impression. We've been married 30 years. In retrospect, actually not so cringeworthy. In reply to some of the comments, it is actually a true story, but I don't blame anyone for saying it's fake. The professor never connected me to the girl. I wasn't a student there. She fairly freaked out and never told anyone she knew me. Story 18. 9 years ago, when I was in high school, the small group of girls I was friends with became enamored of Alexander Hamilton. Consequently, as a lonely young dorky kid, I must have assumed that to be attractive to women, I should become like Alexander Hamilton. Fast forward a year and I finally was going on a date with someone. There was an awkward silence. What do I do? What do I talk about? Economic policy, of course. So I rambled for a half hour about macroeconomics and then wandering over to game theory and explaining the relationship between the prisoner's dilemma and the tragedy of the commons. It turns out that she wasn't listening to any of that. She did enjoy the way my voice sounded even if she wasn't listening to me. So the date still went alright. Story 19. I really liked this guy when I was about 7 or 8 years old. I don't remember what I did to him, but he knew I liked him a lot. One day he asked me to meet him at the playground. I got really excited and thought he would tell me he loved me back a little. Anyways, I get there and he had made a huge heart in the dirt and proceeded to stand there with his girlfriend. I showed up to him kissing her non-stop in the heart. I was so sad after that. Story 20. One time I tried being the nice guy. Jesus, I still cringe about this. There's no better way to look like a needy idiot than acting like a nice guy. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying be an asshole, but there's dudes out there who will literally do anything that a chick asks them to do and then watch as they get friend-zoned into eternity. Look, when she's cold, give her your coat. When she's struggling in a class, offer to help her study. When she's suddenly hungry, offer a bit of your lunch. That doesn't mean buy her a fucking coat. Or don't do her goddamn homework for her. Don't make her a fucking lunch every day. I still cringe to this day about the time in high school when I tried doing this. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for more Reddit content.